Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 17, and welcome back to the Western Shore. It is day 5 of summer, so we are now in the third of summer, and things happen, the transitions between the thirds is when things happen, and things did happen overnight, so let's take a look. So we'll zoom in, field 4.9 and field 5.9 I guess is a good place to start. That's where we were working last time. I ran the Cultiplow over both of them. So both of those have the 10% plow buff right now. Field 4.9 we didn't have to. We could have just used a cultivator on it rather than a Cultiplow or a subsoiler, whatever you want to call it. But these are both on the same sequence now. So we both have 3 full years of that 10% buff for both these fields till we need to do it again. So the next time we need to lease or buy a piece of equipment, it will be for both of them rather than one. I thought that's a little bit more efficient. Fertilizer. We spread liquid fert on field 5.9 and solid fert, poo, on field 4.9. Now we're running the hard manure mod and I thought that applied to any organic fertilizer, but apparently it does not. We did get the double buff on field 4.9, but not on field 5.9. And that actually works out in our favor. I got a plan for field 5.9, so we'll get to that. And then as far as the grass goes, we turn our grass on, and as I both hoped and feared, we are going to get a third cut. So we are in first harvest stage for our grass right now, but we only have 2 layers of fertilizer on it. So this is the plan for today. First thing we're going to do is hop in the Ford with this little leased trailer on it. We're going to drive down to Blockwell Farm, fill this up with wheat, bring it back for the cows. Then we're going to hop in our Massey Ferguson right back there. We're going to put the skinny tires on it. We're going to put our broadcast spreader on it, load it up with fertilizer, which I brought up here from the store. And with the skinny tires on, we're going to go up and fertilize probably 1 or 2 grass fields just to kind of get a feel for that. Then we're going to come down and hop in the JCB. Where is that? JCB is right back there. We're going to hook it up to our little coon seeder. We're going to fill that with seed, which I also brought up from the store. And we're going to head down to field 5.9, and at least, we may not get to it today. We may run out of time. But what I'd like to do is at least get a feel for what we're going to do with that field as far as tram lines go, because it's only got a single layer of fertilizer on it. We do want to fertilize it after it's been seeded, and it's a big enough field. I think we can justify tram lines on there. Now we can sort of cheese it. We can just put on the skinny tires and drive all over the crop. But I would rather take the time and put in tram lines. I think they really look beautiful, especially in canola. I don't know what it is about canola and tram lines, but I think it really, really looks nice. And with the multi-terrain angle that Bullet Bill included on this map, it's going to be really smooth. You won't get that sort of, you know what I mean, chunky 45-degree turns. I think it's going to look really, really good. We just need to figure out how to do it. It's been over a year since I've used either GPS mod, which is, I believe, by Upside Down, and then Proceed. I don't even know who makes Proceed. But those 2 mods can work together very, very nicely to give you some really, really good-looking tram lines. I've tried it a couple times with Courseplay and Proceed. It does not work nearly as well, I find. And it's because, see, stop that right there. It's because Courseplay can sometimes start a row twice, I guess, and the way that Proceed counts is every time the tool drops and then lifts again, that cycles the counter. So if the counter gets out of sync, then it's bad news. So it's better to do it manually, and with a 3 meter tool, that is going to take some doing. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I looked today and I've got 66 hours in this map and we're not even halfway done with our first year. I will take it. I love it. This is a fantastic map. I'm not bored in any way. And really, we're just focused on the one farm so far. We're just focused on Bramble Lane. It's going to be time to branch out pretty soon. And when we do, you know what I mean? It's going to be a blast. All right, so we'll pull right up here. I need to sneeze, so I'm going to mute for a second. Sorry about that. I knew it was coming, and I can edit it out later, but I just felt like I wanted to fix it before I did that. You know what? We got a situation here. Let's just do it this way. Let's just go around this way before we Austin Powers ourselves. Right, so we'll get this flipped around, we'll get this dropped off, and then we'll continue with our day. Yeah, 66 hours. Would not have thought it. Time absolutely flies on this map. And I really like that. Third cut. That's a topic. What are we going to do with third cut? I mean, I suppose we could take like half of it to the compost master. Because we've got, at this point, almost 100,000 liters of compost fertilizer available already. I mean, it's right there. And then we could make another 100,000, 200,000. That would certainly simplify things. We'd be saving money as far as buying pellet fert. But the thing is, pellet fert is not, it's not terribly expensive, and we do need to rent a manure thrower, whereas we already have a broadcast spreader. So there's a little bit of business math in there, in terms of what's the best use of our money. Main thing is I don't want to waste that grass, particularly if we fertilize it 3 times. That's a lot of grass. That's 600, 700,000 liters of grass. I would hate to waste it. So the main thing is, I mean, we've got a couple days. We've got at least until the first day of fall, and I believe our silage in the clamps will be ready to go by then. So I think the trick is to get rid of what we have in the clamps now, take it down to the BGA and sell it. That's going to make us a lot of money too, a couple £100,000, and that's going to take the pressure off financially. So that's a good thing. It's also going to free up space to move that grass into the pits. So if nothing else, we'll get the pit between the lane and the dairy. We'll get that one empty because I believe that can hold about 350, 400,000. And we can start moving grass in there. As we mow it, we can start moving it in there. And what we can do, I mean, I suppose we could just fill that until it's at capacity and then take the rest down to the compost master. And that lets us leave what's in the other clamp for food. Although really, I don't know that we'll ever need to use our bulk silage for food because we have so many bales. Let me... Tip side, we want left. Left. Yeah, that's correct. Don't fall off. We want the left side, so we'll dump this in here. Right back in here. And while we're here, let's open this other gate. Oh, I need to clean up. I need to clean up after these cows. Ladies. You're making a mess. All part of living on a farm, I suppose. Right. So we go back here. In we go. Brake is off. That's interesting. We're getting a dump dialog down in the lower right. Interesting. I don't know where it is that it's expecting us to dump to. Perhaps that tower right there? I'm kind of curious now. If we have anything left in here, let's circle back around to that tower and see if there is a place to store crops on this farm. Alright. So pull right in here. We've got our dump dialog again. Here we go. Unless it takes all of it. No, about 2/3 of it. Okay. Cover back on. Very carefully pull through here. Carefully. Just caught it. Oh, the collisions. Alright, right up here. Suspend your disbelief as we drive through that cow. And I think let's just leave it on this side of the gate for now. We'll mess with that tower as far as whether or not we can store grain in there. Like so. Come back around here, close a couple gates. Like so. And that one, beautiful. All right, so now the 5600. I did get the toolbox. You may have seen it down here by the, I don't know, it's a little utility shed. Keep some tools in there, maybe. So we got this thing. Pull it out here. It's got to be far away from everything. The triggers will occasionally overlap the hit boxes. So right in there. And I found the best way to do this, it seems a bit excessive, but I found the best way to do this is actually to, as an example, come all the way up here, drop our weight, and then back up. It's probably a little more cautious than we need to be, but hey, why not? So then if we hop out, click right there, we're going to customize, narrow tires. No charge for that. Beautiful. Oh, you know what? Before we do this, let's do this. Put that away. Right here, and there we go. Brakes off. So I put these wheels on for two reasons. One is so we don't crush grass because we're running seasons and the terrain control mods, and I believe at this point we cannot turn crop destruction off. So we don't crush any grass. I wanted to put these wheels on, but also we'll use these in the tram lines as we get further into fall when we're fertilizing our winter canola. Like so. Beautiful. Trying not to clip through this beam, but it's not exactly working. All right. Right back out through here. And let's put this thing right over here. It's kind of a good angle. All right. Brake. Lower that. Engine off, cover off. Fantastic. Now, I don't think, I mean, maybe we could get in there and get to that. It's a little tight. Let's just pull this thing forward a bit, and for that we can use this. I suppose, yeah, I suppose if I had planned this better, I could have pulled the trailer forward with the 5600 before we put the broadcast spreader on. Okay. Well, we'll know for next time. Right. So, up here. Pull that out just to make some room. Yeah, make our lives a little easier. And for now, we can leave this hooked up. All right. What's the safe way to do this? Let's take these straps off manually. Oh. So let's see. That is seed. This is fert. We're going to end up taking most of these off. I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't want to see bags flying all over. All right. Those aren't, none of those are touching, are they? Nope. All right. Here we go. Now we could, if we wanted to be quick and dirty, we could just pull our broadcast spreader up next to the trailer and use the power of magic. But as often as possible, I try to avoid that. All right. So, zoom in a little bit here. Are we? Oh, God. Perspective. All right. There we go. It's already getting sticky. Wheels are off the ground. All right. Yeah, pallet physics, bale physics. There we go. Sit down on there a little bit. Oi. Hey, you know what? Might not be pretty, might not be perfect, but we're getting it done. All right. Now very carefully, about like so. And I think the rest of this will fit in there. This is 2,000 liters. The capacity on the spreader is 3,200, and it had, what, 500 in it? Is that what I saw? There we go. So yeah, I believe this entire pallet will drop in there. Beautiful. And we'll just stuff this right here just to get it out of the way. Take the weight off the hydraulics. Set the brake. Beautiful. All right. Everything is going okay so far. So far. And we'll strap these down again. Just in case. All right. So now we're up to the top. So we'll hop in here. Cover back on. Engine on. Brake off. Lift that. 22.99. Okay, so we had about 300 liters in there. We added 2,000. There's another 2,000 on the trailer. And I believe it's about 2,500 to do all 6 of these fields. So we should have enough. We should have. Wow, that's with the front weight on there. And our spreader's not even full. It's pulling the front wheels off the ground. Carefully. All right, as soon as this thing empties out a little bit, we'll have a bit more stability. Hopefully. Just be careful going up the lane. So, right, tram lines. Yeah, we'll leave the save game. We'll leave the skinny tires on this thing. I want to use a 21 meter sprayer. And we've got a 3 meter seeder. So I've been trying to do the math on that. Now, Proceed will do a lot of it for you. But it's good to have an idea in your head of what the split is going to be for your tram lines, so that you're able to sort of monitor Proceed. Because like I said, if you lift and drop the tool, that's when Proceed cycles to the next length. So if you get out of sync, you need to have your head math straight so that you can manually reset it back to where it's supposed to be. But I think 7 times 3, right? 3 meter versus 21 meter. 3 times 7 would be 3 lengths, then 1 with tram lines, then 3 without, that's a total of 7 lengths. Each of them 3 meters wide for a total of 21 meters. And then we'll run our sprayer down the middle, and it'll reach both sides. In theory. In theory. All right, time. 18 minutes. Wow, time is flying. Okay. So let's back up to the wall. So we start this from all the way back here. Cruise control, let's say 9 miles an hour. Sounds about right. Cruise control, and we're spraying. So yeah, obviously we're going to do something with this grass, or I wouldn't be fertilizing it. So the fact that I'm sort of, I don't know, I'm already, in my mind, I'm already picturing that full 200% yield. So obviously we'll do something with it. I just don't know what exactly that is yet. But we'll have to do something. There's just too much of it. And it's worth too much money. I mean, at the very least, it's worth, just as silage, it's worth about $200,000. But then when we get into, try to do, again, the head math, try to do the head math on you're making compost. Well, we have to spend money for fuel to make compost, but is that net savings versus fertilizer that we don't have to buy even when we rent the manure spreader? So yeah, a lot of different things to think about. I love that aspect of this game, and I like making it complicated enough that you can begin to have those considerations. I think that's my favorite way to play the game. And yeah, it is grindy, for sure. I saw somebody use that term in a comment, and that is, I don't disagree at all. The way I play, the way I think a lot of you play is grindy, But it's really, for me, it's really a satisfying and sort of mentally challenging game. And you get to play with diggers. So it's, it's like two very fun, very cool things combined. And I would call that for sure a win-win. So based on the time, I think let's just probably finish up this field. Yeah, because we're over 20 minutes. Let's just finish up this field, and then off camera, I will finish fertilizing all of these fields. Next episode, where did we? Can't see my starting point, my stopping point. There it is. Next episode, we will pick up with the JCB and the coon seeder, and we'll head down to field 5, 9, and start doing some serious math. And we'll also kind of refamiliarize ourselves with both ProSeed and GPS. They're both so intuitive. GPS mod probably more than ProSeed. ProSeed is a little, I don't know, the first few times you use it, it doesn't make any sense, but once it clicks, it makes a lot of sense. I feel like the GPS mod, from the first time that you use it, it's very, very intuitive, and so there's not much of a learning curve with GPS mod. At least for me, there wasn't. So if I learned it once, hopefully that means I can learn it again, and we'll combine those two and ideally have some really nice looking golden fields, and that we won't see them till next summer. Next summer? Yeah, give or take. We won't see them this year, but we'll see them. So that'll be a nice look. All right, that is field 6-8. Field 6-8 is triple fertilized. No plow buff, because we didn't plow these. They were already planted, but you know what? It's still 190%. I will take it. So we go right here. Moonwalk. Close the gate. We'll head up here. We'll do this other field. We'll at least start it. We may not finish it. Yeah, we'll finish it. 22 minutes? Yeah, we can finish this one. Right there. All right. Cruise control on. Here we go. I've looked into fertilizer, chemical fertilizer, a little bit. I don't know all the chemistry of it, but I know a lot of companies are working more and more to make what is, by definition, a chemical fertilizer or a chemical herbicide that actually has some characteristics of, if not organic, then at least some type of, it's not just straight petrochemicals. It's not just it didn't all come from a refinery. There's different things you can do with bacteria. There's different things you can do with microbes to create a more environmentally friendly fertilizer that is it's still technically a chemical fertilizer, but it's not as harsh as the stuff they were using in like the 50s and 60s. So I like that. I mean, I know there's always an overarching economic reality. In a perfect world, a lot of us would do a lot of things differently, but it's not a perfect world. We have the limitations and the realities of everyday existence. So there's compromises everywhere, and that's just part of life. But I like it when technology companies and chemical companies sort of surprise you. They have such a reputation, or we have such a perception of them as these horrible companies, and all they do is terrible stuff and destroy the planet and cause all this destruction and chaos, etc. And then you see a story about something they've been working on for years that's really kind of good for us and good for the planet, or whatever. So we're all in this together. I know they're working on it, and whether their goal is to do good things or just to make money, as long as it benefits them and us, then right, that's a win-win. Works out for everybody. So I like reading about that stuff. Science, technology, chemistry, that fascinates me. I like the GPS stuff too, and the electronic stuff that equipment companies and tractor companies are using to make things super, super efficient. So we're going to pull back onto the road here. I'll close the gate. 26 minutes. Yeah, it's close enough to 30 minutes. I'll finish these fields off camera. Next episode, we'll hop in the JCB and start on field 5-9. Yeah, that worked out. Call it an episode. There you have it. All right, so we're going to set the brake here. Hop out here. Set the brake there. Close the gate there, and we are done. Beautiful. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 17. This is the Western Shore. We'll see you next time. Take care now.